guys! Just gonna wait a couple minutes for people to get on here. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing okay. Hey everyone, thanks for coming. I'm hoping that you can see this all right. Let me know if you can see what I'm doing. I do indeed have my wine, so this is a true wine and weave time because it's the evening now. Hey guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. Cheers indeed. So we went live at 2 p.m. and by we I mean me. I always say we because my husband Cody is so involved in my business and usually does a lot of the filming stuff, but this is just me and you guys right now. He's being a fantastic husband and cleaning the house right now while I do this. So yeah, I started this afternoon. Can you guys see this? It's 11. Oh, it's 11 a.m. Where are you, Fiber and Company? You're gonna get out the gin at 11 a.m. I love it. Okay, so I started this weaving earlier in the first one, and then I worked on it a bit after, because I probably won't. Oh, you're in Australia. So cool. Well, welcome here. I'm excited. It's so fun to have people all over the world. So that's awesome. So anyway, I will just warn you, I probably won't get that much weaving done because it's hard to like talk and weave at the same time, but this is where I'm at so far. Can you guys see this? Okay. I'm probably gonna like have to turn it from you a little bit when I'm weaving, but let me know if you can like see it, if you can hear me okay, you know, all the good things. Oh, my sister is here. Hello, Emily. Love your stuff. Super excited to watch. Okay, good. You can see. Thanks for being here, guys. So, as I was saying, I started this earlier today, and what you can't see right now, I really wanted to try something where the bottom of the weaving isn't straight. So I did this like curve. So underneath I did a piece of poster board, and I just like made a random oh my sister forgot to come at the 2 p.m. one because mom brain. Anyway, I did some poster board under here, and I just like drew a random curve and cut it out so that I could have a not straight bottom. And then I did all my fringe, which is like a mixed fringe. I have a few different blacks, and I was going to move from black to gray to white, but one of the blacks I'm using is like quite, I don't know if it reads through the same way here, but it's quite navy, so I decided to move from black to navy, probably to like a lighter blue, and then eventually to white. So that's what I'm doing. You can't really see it on here, but I am such a messy weaver. Like I've got balls of yarn all around me on the floor. I'm just not a tidy maker at all. So yeah, as the last one, I'm not sure if there's any like repeat people here, but feel free to ask me questions or let me know something you want me to talk about, because otherwise it's just going to be me weaving in silence, which might get kind of boring. And also I'm drinking wine, so I'll probably be a little bit more talkative than usual. So yeah, here we go. Well, should we just start with everyone kind of saying where they're from? Because we did that last time and I was like very shocked at how people were from literally all over the world. So feel free to let me know where you're from. Please tell us what you're drinking, says my sister. So I am drinking red wine Boda Box. I don't know what the actual I want to call it Boda Box, but I think it's Boda Box. Hello from Poland. Cool. Very cool. Anyway, it's a box of wine that I have in my pantry, and it's called Boda Box, and it's really good. It's funny because I like red wine, but I don't really know a lot about wine. I just know what I don't like and what I like. So, okay. You did not miss much. I was just telling everyone that I'm drinking wine and weaving. Omaha, Nebraska. Weaving and drinking. Awesome. Good with the local craft beer. I can't drink beer, so. You don't have wine. Pepsi works. Cool. Mountain and trees. Nice. That's super fun. Other people are weaving and drinking beverages of all kinds. That's what I like to see. So, I don't know if you guys can still see this, but I'm just going to keep going. I'm doing sort of kind of an ombre effect as well. Moving from black to navy, and then I think I'll go to a lighter blue, and then up to Hola, where are you from? And then I'm gonna move to white, I think. Yarn, not wine. Chili, cool. Sorry if I pronounced that not the right way. Vanilla Pepsi. You know what? Vanilla Pepsi. That sounds amazing as well. I'm just trying to make sure my warp doesn't fall off because it was looking like it was going to. Hello from Indiana. Awesome. We had people from all over the place too as well, from Argentina and I don't know, all the places. I can't even remember them all now, but it was all over the world, so. Chile. Yeah, you're probably right. So, does anyone have any questions or things you'd like me to talk about? Otherwise, I will just start rambling. In the earlier one, I talked a bit about my background story, about how I went to school for fiber arts, and I went on a textiles tour in Scotland the year before I started my fiber arts diploma, and it was incredible. So you don't speak English. I think that's what that's supposed to say. I'm originally from a couple hours north of you. Oh! Are you from... Where are you from? Specifically. Even more north. I'm sorry. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm from northern Alberta, Canada. We live in a rural area. Closest city to us is about 40 minutes away, and it's a pretty small city. There's still a ton of snow on the ground here, so. Will the puppies or kitties be making guest appearances? I mean, maybe, but my door is closed because otherwise they will for sure just come in here. But I mean, if you want to see them, I can let that happen. Okay, did I miss where? Okay, a couple hours north. Sorry if the phone shakes. I'm new at this. Can you tell? I mean, my sister wants to see my animals, so I'm just going to open the door and they'll probably wander in here and there. They're really cute. I feel like I'm not at the bottom of the... Okay, there we go. I just started to weave. Any good books you recommend? Never heard of textile art school. How long is the program? Would love to study textile art. Oh, someone else in there. I see what you're saying, Kai. Anyway, so I don't really have any book recommendations, to be honest, because I'm just not really a book person. I do a lot of my learning online, and I went to college for weaving, so there was a lot in terms of like weaving structure that I already knew about. Someone's saying they really like Hello Hydrangea books. Yeah, and she's got courses. I have lots of YouTube tutorials. We have one that's a start to finish mini woven wall hanging tutorial, and then we have kits that we sell that go along with that tutorial. So if you're just starting out, that would be a fantastic place. My sister's trolling me. That would be a good place to start, I would say, if you're brand new. I was just saying, I'm not overly a book person. Like, I do better with videos and stuff, so, which is part of why we made the YouTube channel, because when I first started making woven wall hangings, like, there really wasn't that much on YouTube, and you know, I obviously had a lot of questions, a lot of little things I didn't know how to do, because I come from a background of floor loom weaving, so those like really big ones that are on the floor, and so there was a lot of like weaving stuff I already knew, but I kind of just had to stalk people on Instagram until I figured certain things out. And I went on Pinterest, there's lots of blog posts, but yeah, we have a YouTube channel with tutorials, so I highly recommend you subscribe to that. We post new videos every week. Last night we posted our first vlog, and again, for those of you who are just getting here, when I say we, I mean me and my husband Cody, because he does all the editing for all our videos, and he's like the techie one. So my sister says she's gonna focus more on drinking and less on trolling, so cheers. So yeah, any other questions or like things you guys want me to talk about? Because my life is like so interesting. I'm just kidding, it's not that interesting. We are in my studio right now, which I'd love to hear more about tattoos on yours. Oh, and someone asked me about my school. Sorry. I'll talk about my tattoos for sure. But I'll talk quickly about my school. So I went to the New Brunswick College of Craft and Design in Fredericton, New Brunswick. I am originally from Alberta though, so I'm kind of backwards from most Canadians who move from the east to the west. I went from the west to the east to go to school. I did a year of foundation visual arts, which was like a prerequisite for my fiber arts program. And then I did a two-year diploma program in fiber arts specifically. So at the time I went, sorry, I'm just reading the comments while I'm trying to talk. It's difficult. At the time I went to that college, the textiles program was broken up. You could either major in surface design or major in fiber arts. So fiber arts is what I did, and that was weaving, felting, wet felting specifically, spinning, dyeing, that kind of stuff. And then surface design was like the screen printing and fabric painting, and so like the construction of cloth versus the decoration of cloth. So I was in like the construction of cloth. It was a really cool program. I believe now the program is generalized as a textiles program. So in a lot of ways, I'm really glad I got to go when I went, because I got to do like a ton of weaving. Like we had 6-hour weaving classes on, I think it was on Wednesdays, and it was really awesome. So that's my my college experience. And Sorry, my eye is itchy. My tattoos. Okay. So I'm not really the kind of person that like I have all this like deeper meaning behind my tattoos. To me, for the most part, my tattoos are art. I like the way they look. I think they're really pretty. So this is the first one I got, which is my tree. And I love nature. Like, I have trees and mountains in my work a lot. So unsurprising that I have a tattoo of that as well. So my tree was the first one I got. I got it actually just before I moved, or just before I went into my second or third year of college. And then the second one I got is this ship. And me and my sister have the exact same one. Hers is, I think, on your radar, Kyla? I don't know. So hers is here. Mine is here. We jokingly call them our sister friend ships. But she came and visited me when I was going to college in Fredericton, and we got tattoos together. I think it was on my birthday. So it was really cool. And then this one I got 4 years ago now, I think. And again, trees and mountains. I think it's pretty. To me, it's like, it's art. I don't need to have like a ton of different meanings. I think they look really beautiful. That's about it. I love nature. Ironically though, I'm a homebody and I like being indoors more than outdoors, but I love looking at nature. So that's the story behind that. Anything else you guys want to know? I admire people who can like be really productive while doing these lives, because I feel like that's just not what's going to happen here today. No animals have ventured into my studio yet. How far apart are the warp strings on my loom? I believe that they are a 1/4 inch. I like to do, I don't warp my loom double. Yeah, these are about a 1/4 inch, maybe like a hair less than a 1/4 inch apart. How did you and Cody meet? That's a funny story. So my husband Cody and I, technically the first time we met was at Bible camp here in northern Alberta. We both were at the same camp, and I didn't know him at all at that point in time. But that's where we met, and then funny enough, he actually dated my childhood best friend at the time for a few years. That was in high school that they dated, and then they broke up, and I went to college and she went to college, and Cody and I just kind of became better and better friends. Like we had already known each other since we were like 14, 15. And then I was in college in Fredericton and I didn't really know anybody, and he was here, and a lot of our friends had moved away to go to college. So we were both kind of in the same boat of like, we had a lot of evenings where we just like didn't have people to hang out with. So we chatted on, oh my gosh, would it have been? No. Like on Facebook Messenger, I think. We chatted a lot, and we really like became better and better friends. And then my other friend who I was her maid of honor actually at her wedding, and she kind of like pushed us to that summer. She was like, you guys should date. And we were just like, what? But I mean, needless to say, we started dating, and yeah, we got married back in 2014, which is the year after I graduated college. And yeah, that's the story about that. That's okay, my little sister and I once dated the same. That's really funny. So I'm just like winging this weaving, by the way. I was saying in the last live as well, I'm not really I'm not really much of a planner when it comes to my weavings. Oh, we had a June wedding as well in 2014. That's really funny. Our anniversary is June 28th, 2014. So how many of you guys are weaving, and how many of you are drinking, and how many are doing both? I'm doing both. Friday the 13th wedding. That's awesome. But yeah, as I was saying, I don't really plan out my weavings, and I probably should. I think I plan them much more out when I do, well, I have to, when I do the tutorials on YouTube. Oh, someone's doing both. Yeah, someone's just drinking wine. My sister is drinking and crocheting, so that's great. But yeah, I like to just wing it with my weavings a lot of the time. When I do tutorials, I really have to plan it out so that I know what the heck I'm talking about when I'm doing a tutorial. I don't know how many of you watch the YouTube channel, but we're pretty proud of it. And we always like to stick in some bloopers in the end. Like, that's what makes me nervous about lives, is like the bloopers are going to be live. They're not going to be neatly at the end of the video. Yeah. I'm trying out diamond twill. Not working the best. I think I need to be using a different fiber. Cotton string is not working for me. Yeah, if you're doing the diamond twill, it is definitely like in this tapestry situation, I find it a lot easier with a thicker yarn. I have some diamond twill. I will show you. Hopefully you can see it okay. So I did it on this pillow. We're going to play a little bit of show and tell so you can see it there. So I find it works better as far as tapestry goes. Chunky yarn is definitely your friend in that situation. You sold your first weaving today. Congratulations. That's so exciting. Maybe checking out your YouTube. Awesome. Yes. We did a YouTube video this week with in partnership with No Issue, and I'm sure I've seen their ads everywhere as well. They're like a sustainable packaging company, and they do custom packaging. I got some beautiful tissue paper. So they kind of partnered with us to do a video. And this is the beautiful tissue paper that I got, as well as my custom spruce and linen tape, which I am like seriously obsessed with. I love it. And it was a really fun collaboration to do with them, because it was kind of like a review, and then I show you completely how I pack up my weaving. So definitely, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do. Please, please. We are, last time I checked, we were 1 away from 1,600 subscribers, which is incredibly exciting. Like, things move, I would say, as far as subscribers go, a lot slower on YouTube. It's hard to get people off of Instagram, and I get it. Like, I pretty much live on Instagram, so that's why we're doing the live here. But yeah, if you are a new weaver, you want some weaving tutorials, we also had that packaging one, and yesterday I posted that first vlog, and we're going to be doing a lot more vlogs, especially because Cody is home from work right now with everything going on. So we're going to try to get out as many videos as we can, and those will all be on YouTube. And it's just Spruce and Linen on YouTube as well. I don't use Janelle on anything because there are like 7 ways to spell Janelle, and no one ever spells mine correctly. So that's why I came up with an actual business name with words that are easy to spell. Oh, the stream is lagging so bad. Yeah, and honestly, it might be on my end as well because I live in a rural area and our internet is just not, our internet's not great. It's really laggy, I will admit. The pillow you just showed, is that tutorial? No, that tutorial is not. I will do a diamond twill tutorial very soon. It seems like something everyone wants to do, so maybe I'll do that sooner than later. It's kind of one of those things that I have like in the back of my mind I'm planning. However, this pillow that we did, this one is on the YouTube channel, and this was in partnership with Divinity Fibers and Silk Divine. They are owned by the same woman, and she was kind enough to send us a bunch of materials to make this pillow that I am obsessed with. And I still haven't gotten it in the Etsy shop because I'm kind of like obsessed. You want show and tell, more fun things from your studio, like old. Okay, do you guys want me to keep weaving, or do you want me to show you projects I made in college? Because I am more than happy to do that if you want to see some unique projects I did. So just let me know in the comments if you want me to do like a show and tell situation here instead of weaving, because I know I do show a lot of weaving on the YouTube channel. So if we get some comments to do show and tell, I'm going to start doing show and tell, which might be more fun to have wine and show and tell anyway. And in the last one, people wanted to see our different looms. So this is our flat pack loom. This is our flat pack loom. It comes apart. Other people are saying show and tell. Show and tell. Okay. Let me know. So the people who are just coming in now, we're trying to decide if we want to do show and tell or if I should keep weaving. Oh, the comments cover the weaving. That's what I was wondering. Okay. We're going to start doing some show and tell. I'm going to have to venture into the back of my closet in my studio here to grab all those things. So if you can bear with me for a moment, but I'll just show you. So that's our main loom. We're going to make a bigger version of this as well. And we also have some, oh, I lost it again. So this is the bracelet loom, just so you can see the size of it. It's perfect for bracelets and bookmarks and that kind of thing. And then these two aren't in the Etsy shop, but they will be soon. These are two smaller ones. You want me to show you the closet? It's kind of a disaster. So this one will be like perfect for coasters. So I think we're going to do a coaster tutorial on YouTube soon. And then this one is just a little bit bigger and would be perfect for like just extra tiny wall hangings and that kind of thing. Okay, I'm gonna go grab my bin of college stuff. I can't really hold the phone and grab that at the same time. However, I can let you enjoy this. So this is my yarn and wool wall. It's pretty wonderful. I just cleaned it up yesterday. Okay, stay with me. I will grab the bin of the things. You might hear me yell if I trip or something. Deep closet, you guys. It's like Narnia back there. Okay. I made it back. Okay. So, I catch my breath now because I just climbed into my closet is one of those closets that goes like all the way under the stairs. And so it's a deep closet. Cheers, everyone coming in. Okay. So for those of you who are just coming in now, we have switched from a wine and weave to a wine and show and tell, where I show you some of the things that I made while I was in college for fiber arts. So, I'm still catching my breath. Oh my gosh. I'm working on it, Kyla. Okay. So, this is a diamond. This is actually a good example of diamond twill. It has dog hair all over it, but this is a rug that I made. This is all these things that you're going to see as far as weaving were done on a floor loom, not on a tapestry loom. So it was made with my favorite linen yarn. It has cotton yarn and then Briggs and Little wool yarn. So that's a rug. And I made several of these. I think I've made like 4 of them while I was in college. Then this was a really cool project. It's kind of wrinkled, but we did, in our natural dye class, we had a ginormous vat of indigo. Oh, I should show you my natural dye binder for anyone who's interested in that. So we did indigo dyeing. Again, this was in college, so this is a lot of years ago, so I don't remember how to do a lot of these things, but my whole concept was like these ships, and I did embroidery on them, and I actually painted the ships on with I think it was acrylic paint mixed with textile medium. So that's that one. Okay, these are pretty great. So this is an example of what we did. Excuse the bags in the top. So we did wet felting in college, and one of the classes was 3D felting, and so I made ghillie boots, and this was all wet felting. So if you're unfamiliar with wet felting, it's just like a more permanent way of felting. Like needle felting essentially knots up the wool, whereas wet felting is a permanent cloth. Like it's super, super, super strong. So I made these boots. They fit my feet perfectly, and I still really love them. That's why I kept them. I didn't keep everything from college, but I kept a lot of it just because a lot of hard work went into these things. So that's those. And then this is another sort of diamond twill scarf. This is silk, I want to say silk noil. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but we did a hand dyed warp. So you can see kind of the variegation in the yarn. Variegated yarn. So it was a hand painted warp, and then I'm really trying to make sure you can see this, and then I did like a purple weft. So again, all these things were done on floor looms, and I don't really work with floor looms anymore. This is a bronze lace scarf. So you can kind of see I'll stand back a little bit, the pattern in it. So we had a computer aided design class that was for weaving. This is the most amazing box of treasures. Oh, I'm glad you think so. So we had this computer aided design weaving class where there was an actual program you could use to design different weaving patterns for floor looms. And this is the result of that, one of those projects in that class. Some of these things are a little bit squished. This is a fox mask that I made, which is also from my wet felting class. It smells like old now. So that's part of my 3D weaving class as well. Okay, what you're about to see next, is probably one of the things I'm most proud of. So this was before I show you, This was my final project for weaving in my last year of college. So this was like this project was essentially my final mark in weaving, because my college was very, it was almost only project based. So we didn't write a lot of papers and there was no exams. Your exams and papers were doing creative projects. So this is a blanket that I made for that class. I don't know if you can see the pattern, and it's a pattern that I designed, and I hand dyed the warp. Was it the warp or the weft? Let me see here. I think it was actually a bit of both. So I used the warp, the dyed yarn in the warp and the weft. And I hand dyed the yarn with tea. Tea was always my favorite natural dye because it already has, so with natural dyes, you almost always need a tannin, and a tannin is just something that helps the dye adhere to the yarn or the cloth, so that it doesn't just like immediately fade out if you were to wash it. And tea, black tea specifically, already has that in it. So I used black tea a lot in college, and also it was cheap, so it was great for like a college budget. So if you have black tea at home, you can dye things with it. And I'm thinking we'll maybe do a natural dye tutorial at some point on the YouTube channel, because I know there was some interest for that. So this project, this was done in my foundation visual arts when we got to like kind of test out the fiber arts studio. It's hard to see, but it's basically it's felt, it's silk in the middle here, and then more felt in the center, and then it was shibori dyed after. Do you do much? I don't do much dye. I don't really do any dyeing right now, but I've been like kind of having the hankering to do some natural dyeing again. I don't really dye now because honestly it's messy and it's a lot of work, and if I can buy yarns and stuff that are already in the colors I want, that's a lot easier. So I also don't have a drum carder, and if you're gonna be dyeing like merino wool, for instance, having a drum carder is like the best, but they are expensive. Okay, so this is a scarf I made on a little table loom that I have. This was after college, but that's a scarf I made on there. Again, with sort of like a diamond twill situation. And then got our nice fringe on there. I guess I could just be like modeling this for you. So that's that. I have made, this is a shorter one, like it's not the right size, but I made tea towels. We had like a craft show at Christmas time that students could, it was like an art and craft show, so that we could sell some of the things we made. So that's the result of that. This is all cotton. So I made quite a few of these towels and gave them away for Christmas presents and stuff. That was the best part about being in like an art and like craft school, is that I just made all the Christmas presents, so I didn't have to buy any. What else do we have? We have some placemats. I made 2 different versions of these when I made them. That's the back. Here's the front. So I really love these. I worked with cotton a lot. My throat is getting dry and the wine is definitely not helping. I worked with cotton a lot when I was in school because I can't wear wool. It's really scratchy for me. So I just don't. Okay, here's another. Oh, right. This was this is just a piece of fabric. It is, I think it's like bamboo and cotton. I'm honestly not really a big fan of this pattern. It's kind of, to me it looks quite dated, but anyway, in my weaving class we got to enter a contest for upholstery fabric, and I definitely did not win. with this, which is fine. The colors, everything about it is just like, it's a little on the dated end of things. Oh man, there's so many things in here, you guys. Okay, so this is a massive tartan blanket that I made. I made the tartan pattern myself, and I specifically remember that I had my warp. One of the stripes is smaller than all the others, which means it's not a perfect tartan. And Coach or Versace. That's nice. One of the stripes is not as wide as the other ones. And I remember my weaving teacher when I was putting it on the loom, because this blanket is like 60 inches wide. It's huge. And she basically was just like, okay, so you can either take the hit to your mark, or you can like make a mini warp and still put it on the loom. And I was like, I will take the hit for my sanity. So anyway, this blanket is, as you can see, it is huge. I just posted a picture a few days ago actually of me wrapped up in this blanket, but it is massive. It's really huge. It was definitely a challenge to weave because, especially when you're short like I am, it is very difficult to weave something this wide. So I don't know why I bought a 60-inch floor loom, but I did. It's not easy to weave on when you're short. It's very hard on your back. So that's that blanket. I think that was another final project for a class. Oh, sorry, I'm shaking the table. Sorry. My sister asked if I've ever upholstered with something I wove. So for those of you who don't know, I was an upholsterer for 3 years, and furniture kind of became my specialty as far as upholstery goes. And in Canada, and I think North America in general, upholstery isn't a trade. It should be, but it's not. And so I, right out of college, got a job as an upholsterer, and I kind of moved into furniture with it. And no, I have not upholstered anything with something I wove. That would have been really cool. I did once upholster in college a chair that I made that was, it was my Steve Zissou chair from The Life Aquatic, and I crocheted the fabric for that. And what else? So this, if you saw my floral weaving from not that long ago, like a few weeks ago, I realized after I made it that it reminded me a lot of this scarf that I made, which again is really wrinkly because it's been in a box for many years, but it's shibori dyed. As you can see, it's silk, and then I like hand painted, see if I can get to the middle. I put these little pearls in the middle, and then I like hand dyed / painted the middle of the flowers, and I still really love this one. That's why I've hung on to it, because it's just like, I mean, like, I would never actually wear this, but it was for an art show specifically. It was like I think it was a wearable art show that I made that one for. Okay, we're getting down to the bottom. There used to be more, but I kind of had to get rid of some stuff because I had like excessive amounts of things, and I like gave stuff away and that kind of thing. So these two scarves are, I think they're Tencel. And they are made of, or sorry, these I made on my big floor loom that I bought right out of college. These are the only two projects I made. They took forever. Again, with the kind of, they're not finished, so that's why you're seeing strings hanging out all over. Oh, and there's a pin in there too. Some more diamond style twill. So you can see I'm very well versed in the diamond twill. So I think we'll do a tutorial on that soon. It is a lot different on a floor loom versus a tapestry loom though. And then I made this one, which is more just like a zigzaggy kind of pattern. I really should finish these scarves though, because I think they're really beautiful. I kind of got burnt out on weaving. And I stopped for like a number of years because, I mean, I moved home and I was working full time as an upholsterer. I did not live in the States. I was born and raised in Alberta. So I still live like basically in the exact same area I was born and raised. Anyway, I got really burnt out on weaving. And I just felt really ashamed about that because I went to school for it and I was like, I'm not going to use my college education and like weave as a business. And I felt really bad about that. And eventually I just had to let it go because, I moved home after college. Cody proposed about a month after I got home. I started a new job as an upholsterer, which is insanely exhausting and your body goes through, like it took me probably 3 months of working there before my hands stopped going numb at night. And so it was just like a really intense time. And then we were planning our wedding and then we were also planning our house, this house, which I designed all the floor plans for. So it was just like an insanely busy time. And I had to just kind of let go of weaving. And then eventually it found its way back in my life in a different way. And that's why I make woven wall hangings now. And to me, the most exciting part about making woven wall hangings and tapestries over floor loom weaving is it feels so much more instant, because what you don't realize about floor loom weaving is like just the set, like making the warp and getting it on the loom is like many hours of work. So, and that's just the setup. And then the weaving part's probably actually depending on what you're doing, but it's probably like actually the fastest part of weaving on a floor loom. So, and I didn't really want to go in production for wearables. I wanted to make pieces of art. So tapestry really suits me in that way. Frame looms are much, much, much smaller. And so I love that. And I just love that you can get really creative. It's like literally, I feel like tapestry weaving on a frame loom is our version of painting on a canvas. Only what we're so lucky with is that you can unweave. So whereas like painting is a whole nother thing if you screw it up and you're trying to cover it up. Whereas weaving, it's just like you can weave something in and just take it right back out if you're not happy with it. And that part, even though I don't like unweaving, I really like that about this art is that you can really manipulate it the way you want to, and it's trial and error, and it's easy to kind of undo and redo and not waste your canvas, your warp. Anyway, that's just a little aside. This is another project I made on my little table loom. So my table loom is like a floor loom, but it sits on the table, just if you don't know what that is. It's packed away right now, but so this is another pretty simple diamond twill. There's so many variations of diamond twill is the other thing. So that's that. And then we always had to, when we were doing, I showed you the rug for those of you who are just, oh, there's so many people just coming in now. So this is the first project I was showing you guys, was this rug. It's like kind of like a doormat size, I would say. So I made this rug, and in weaving class, much to my dismay because I'm incredibly impatient, we had to do samples before we actually wove our project. So this is my sample, trying to figure out the different patterns I could do on the rug. I really love this one. Kind of forgot about that one. So this is like my weaving sample. And then we did, this one's really long, I think. This is another rug weaving sample. Can you tell I used to use color a lot more in my work? So that's that. Sorry, supper. And anything else in here? I also made this doll. We had a doll making class, which by the way is like the most finicky process ever. So I made this doll, like, so it's so tiny. This was really hard. Oh, someone got booted out. Oh, what was your question, Lennon and Flora? Maybe ask me it again because I don't know if I missed it or not. Trying to keep up, but anyway, so that's that, and that's mostly what I did in college. those were all the best projects anyway. I still have like a few more felt kind of things that we did and that kind of thing. So yeah, anyone have more questions? Do you guys want to see, one thing I do have that I haven't shown you, I have a entire binder on natural dyes that we basically, each of us in the class created. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I've never lived in the States. I am very Canadian. My family, my dad's side of the family anyway, has actually been in Alberta for like 100 years, so I'm very Albertan, I guess. I don't know if that's like a good thing. Yeah, no, I was born and raised in northern Alberta, which is where I still currently live. I grew up about, I don't know, 20 minutes from where I live now, / 2 seconds from where I live now. You notice the oh, do I have an accent that sounds like I'm from Iowa? I mean, I'm just complimented that I don't have like a super twangy accent because I am from a place with a twangy accent. I mean, not that that's a bad thing, but I don't know. My mom is from Manitoba and my dad is from Alberta, so I have some sort of weird, probably mixture of those two things in my accent. Even just sorry. Yeah, I say sorry a lot. Yeah, and I think at least some of the American friends I have say it more like sorry, and I definitely say sorry. Oh, I don't have an American accent. I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's probably true. Yes, it's true. A lot of, like, I would say kind of like Ontario and Midwestern Americans probably sound a lot alike, and I think people just think we all sound like people from Ontario. But just like every other country, I would say there's like a million different Canadian accents, like whatever that is. Yeah, because I lived on the East Coast and I definitely noticed, and I don't mean to tease, but yeah, Minnesota. I called it the pirate accent when I was in New Brunswick because they didn't have like they didn't have like a Newfoundland accent. They had what I called the pirate accent because it was always like car and bar, instead of car and bar. And I kind of picked up while I lived there and still catch myself doing that sometimes, but no, I'm from Alberta. Been here most of my life. Do you guys have more questions? Yeah, my sister is saying that me and her have always put a lot of effort into our non-regional diction, and that's my mom is the same way, because you'd never know that she was from a very small Mennonite town. Like, she doesn't have the Mennonite accent, and we don't seem to have the like accent that most people do who are from right here. Yes, yeah, How I Met Your Mother, yeah, for sure. I obsessed over that show, and yeah, the How I Met Your Mother, Robin would always, yeah, she would always do that accent, and I can only describe that as like, in my opinion anyway, like more of an Ontario stereotypical accent, and so then people just like think that's like the accent for everywhere in Canada, but like I said, it's just like every other country where different regions have different accents, and then even within those regions there's different accents. Like, there's one small town not far from me, and I feel like they have a very distinct accent from the next town over, so I don't know how that all works. And I've lived in like I said, I'm mostly from here, but I've lived on the West Coast and I've lived on the East Coast, and I'm motioning because that's kind of the direction those things are in. So yeah, do you guys have more questions? Anything you want me to talk about as far as weaving? Lots of hard R's. I want to live in Canada. Well, I know we get the like, I think generally speaking Canadians are fairly nice, but we have mean, blunt people just like everywhere else. They're just a lot more spread out in Canada probably than in the States, so it's nice to think that we're extra friendly up here, but I think that's only because we say sorry more than we should. I mean, I try to be a nice human, but not everyone is nice. I mean, it is peaceful in the sense that, like, it's easier to find spaces where there aren't a lot of people. Like, our closest neighbors are my parents, and they live, like, half a mile away from us. So yeah. Talking a lot about Canadianisms, hey? I won't lie though, I love Canada. I've never been sad about living here, that's for sure. It is always interesting hearing what other people think about your accent, because obviously to myself, I don't have an accent, but I obviously do if you're not from here, so. So yeah. Do you guys have more you want me to know? I guess I can go back to weaving if that's it. I do know, learning from the first live, which actually is going to happen soon, actually. I think we've been here for almost an hour. It boots me out after an hour. So after an hour, we're kind of done. For those of you who have just arrived, cheers. And I will for sure, except for in the middle, yeah, that's the thing that my sister is saying about living in Canada is that, and where we live specifically, because it's not even, winter isn't the same everywhere in Canada, and we're in northern Alberta, and it is winter like 8 months of the year. And I'm not even kidding, like there's still tons of snow at my house, and I live in the country, but we're very in the open, so we don't have a lot of trees. So that just goes to show, if there's still snow where we are, there's snow everywhere. So Kyla, I'm not showing the closet, it's not clean. That's my sister, by the way. For those of you who are just joining, my sister isn't here. I am drinking wine. I'm gonna get booted out really soon though, I think. Yeah, the 2-minute timer is officially here. So we are almost done. So anyone have last minute questions? So unpredictable. Yeah. Yeah, our weather is also fairly unpredictable, especially this year. Like last year, we had 2 weeks of minus 50 Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. I don't know my Fahrenheit at all. Yeah, I don't know my Fahrenheit. But yeah, the weather is very unpredictable. It's been a winter of like super cold, and then everything is melting, and then it's super cold and blizzarding and snowing and drifting all over the place. So I will just sit here until this timer goes out. So if anyone has any last minute questions, I mean, even let me know in the comments. Sorry, I keep leaning against the table, my phone is, and I keep making it vibrate there. Any other questions? Anything else you want to know? Should I do more lives? Like, have you guys enjoyed this? I'm always here for the feedback because I really always want to know what you guys want to see. Yes, you can definitely watch from the beginning. I will save the video and it will remain on my Instagram account for, I think it's for 24 hours. I'm also saving these videos, and if there's interest, I can post them to YouTube or maybe Facebook or something like that. And yeah, oh, I'm so glad you feel less lonely. I know that a lot of people are home right now, and this, honestly, being home this much is like super normal for me, so I'm not feeling that as much. So, but I know a lot of other people are, so that's why I'm here. And we've got about 10 seconds left, so more weekend lives. Okay, good to know. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm going to get cut off right away here, and it was fun hanging out with you, and I hope we can do it again. Have a good night.